This month, we've been working on how to make practical this evolution in consciousness that we all seek and talk about, right? So we've been working on waking up to our soul's purpose. Last week, we talked about taking classes. We have to go to some school to learn what we need to learn. And it doesn't have to look like a school. It could be anything. But we are all in training, and we have to become disciplined to the teachings that we're receiving so that we can then rise to being able to express at that higher level that we're seeking. So today I'm going to talk to you about what happens after school. After school, after you've graduated, after you've done what your training was. How many of you know someone, I know it's not you, know someone who took a meditation class and did fabulous and then did not meditate? Oh, I see people know. You know people. How many people know someone that took a Merkaba class and does not build their Merkaba? Oh, hands in the air. Because it's too darn hard, right? It's so hard. Once you learn it, it takes 2 minutes. Okay? Are you guys hearing me? Yeah. We take these classes. We're going to better ourselves. Spirit reminded me, has anyone taken a psychometry class? And then, do you ever use your psychometry? Psychometry is where you hold an object and you feel the vibration of it and you can read the energy. And most of us would say, well, I only use that when I'm buying crystals. Why not use it when you buy your fruit? Why not use it when you buy your food? Is this good for me? Is this not good for me? Hold it. Feel it. Why not use it for everything? That means you'd have to get good at it, wouldn't it? But you already know how. Okay. So often we put these trainings and we put them in a compartment and we say, that's a part of me, but Spirit was giving me this beautiful picture of a person who took piano lessons and quit in the 6th grade. So you say, you play piano? They say, no. Why you say no? You are a 6th grade piano player. Own what you are. I am a 6th grade piano player. That's where I land. That's what I'm good at. Why are we uncomfortable claiming those aspects of us that we have learned, whether we succeeded at the level we had for us or not? I wish I was a 6th grade piano player. All right. The idea is to keep doing your practice. Whatever you've been schooled at, whatever you think you've learned, whatever you were taught, do it. Do it even when you don't know the road. The world does not meet you. You realize this. The world does not meet you at graduation of any class that you've taken and go, here's your job. We've got it just for you. The world goes, great, you graduated, great, good luck. That's what the world does. And you have to allow your energy to work with Spirit to allow the path to open up for you. But if you stop calling yourself what you were, meditator, minister, whatever you were, if you stop calling yourself that, is a path going to open up for you? No, the world doesn't see me yet. That's good, they don't. You have to see you. You have to see you. All right. So everything you learn will change your perspective, which changes your image of self. So you are not the person you were when you began. You are different. You've changed. We need to keep applying, because if we apply, we will own it. If we apply it, we will own it. The 6th grade piano student learned timing, they learned scale, they learned harmony, they learned dissonance. All applicable concepts, are they not? And they're applicable to your life today in so many ways. And you would not have learned it had you not taken your classes. You see? We can apply everything we know in the space that's available to us. So the first step of actually becoming skilled is to practice it. The second step is to allow the universe to take you to opportunities to share your talent. Now, my personal stories are very, very small. My miracles are huge for me. They're inconsequential to you. But when I was studying and I was ordained, oh my God, I was so happy because that was my childhood mission. That was my childhood energy. And I had strange opportunities come to me. One woman had a diet program that she did, and she counseled girls, and they had the food that they ate. It was one of those diet things. Cindy, will you come and talk to my girls about the power of affirmations? Yes, ma'am, I will. Hey, I just got a call from a church in Birmingham, Montgomery, I forgot where it was. They need a minister to come. Will you go talk to them? Yes, I will. Hey, I just got a call from somebody. Will you go teach them a healing class? Yes, I will. I did not have a church come to me and say, hey, you're the best. I'm putting you behind our podium. You are so cool. They did not. But every opportunity, even if it was a slightly different opportunity, yes, I will. I would check my guidance. God, is that for me? Okay, I'm going. Yes, I will. Of course I will. Of course I will take the energy of the minister of who I am to the opportunity you have brought me, even if it looks interesting. And you learn to own that talent, that ability. When our identity becomes a practice, we've grown an identity when we've gone through these schoolings, have we not? But that identity needs to become a practice. I am now who I have learned to be. Then we can actually be used by the universe in very wonderful ways. They wanted me to share this one small story because it'll help someone. We had started InnerQuest. Of course, this was all God. We'd started InnerQuest, and they used to have Magnificent You conventions, metaphysical conventions in Atlanta. Most of you are not old enough to remember. It was in the 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And I was told, take your healing team there. And okay. I called the convention center. I said, can I please rent a booth? And they said, what are you going to do? And I said, we're going to do Reiki. And they said, Reiki? What's that? I told them what it was. And they said, all right, you can rent a booth, do whatever you want. And I said, great. Can you please put my booth at the very back so I have plenty of room? She said, nobody wants the back. I said, I want the back. I want to be in the very back so I have plenty of room. So I rented the space. It was $600 at the time. Spirit told me to do it. Patrick said, you're crazy, but we did it. He said, you're crazy while he's by my side, right? Our healing team, our group of people that was involved in the church, I said, this is what Spirit asked us to do, guys. I need 3 tables going. We had 3 or 2. 2 tables going the whole day. I had healers coming in and out all day long. And the love offering basket, which we put a love offering basket out, was $600 and something. It covered the parking and it covered the fee. And I said, well, yay, God. There we go. People loved it. They loved the Reiki. I've never seen Reiki before. This is amazing. They loved it. Got a call from the people who put on the convention a month or so later. Cindy, can you bring your group to New York? We want to put on a convention in New York. I went, no. You have Reiki healers in New York. Just put out you want healers. Just put out you want healers. He said, you think they'd come? I said, of course they'd come. Just say there's a section for healers. You wouldn't, for 10 years after that, go to any metaphysical convention without healers. InnerQuest. Following the guidance of God, following the opening God provided. They saw the value of it, and that was through this church. Now, if God had said, Cindy, do this, and I went, God, nobody does that. I don't know what you're thinking, God. Am I allowing what I own to be expressed in a new way? No. And we did do some local conventions for a few years, and then it's like everybody was there. They didn't need us anymore. All the healers were showing up. Got it? And we were blessed for that. And guess what? Every single person who worked that show, that first show, guess what they walked away knowing? I'm a healer. Because they followed Cindy and Patrick into the back of a show where nobody else was doing this work and said, are we crazy? Yes, we are. Let's go. And they walked away healers. See? Okay. That's my little IQ story. Now, allowing the universe to take you to opportunities to share your talent you go within. Is it mine? Yes, then go. Number 3, find new ways to express. And with this one, the example they gave me is my son, so I'm going to throw him under the spotlight. It's very fascinating. David studied to be a teacher. And he was really excited about it, and he was very, very talented. I remember a story, I'm paraphrasing because I only know hearsay. He was teaching at a high school, and he was teaching government. And he was doing an experiential thing with the students so they would understand that when you vote, it's not a straight line. We think it's a straight line. And it's a complicated process. And he was having them all participate. And they were having a ball, and they were getting wild, and they were loving it. How is this happening? Why did it happen that way? And they watched it with their own eyes and could understand, this is your government. He even had one of the people that check on him sit in on one of his classes because they were pretty wild. He was fabulous. He was appreciated by the students. He was appreciated by the teachers. He graduated. Do not think his heart was ready to teach. I'm ready to teach. Yes. They furloughed teachers that year across the board. I don't know if you'll remember that year. All across the board, teachers were being laid off throughout Georgia. Do you remember it? Not going to happen. He had to find a new way to express, and he kept doing the work that he'd always done. He was in building, and he knew building, and he made money, and he was fine. But do you think he stopped teaching? Don't you think he used that little teaching ability of his, that fabulous teaching ability of his, every chance he could? He teaches our Metaphysics 3 class in a very experiential way. It's not linear. The students come in and go, what are we going to do? He goes, yeah, what are you going to do? Let's figure. What now? You still check on me. We still sit outside the door. No. But it's a magnificent approach. He did not lose his ability to teach. He teaches in a different way. And if you've ever seen him on a Sunday service, the thoughts that come through him, that's him and God. That is not from a book. That is him and God talking and presenting so we can learn at a different level. Never think you have to give up your talent. Be awake to allowing it to express in a new venue or a new direction. Guys with me? Good example? Okay. When you are applying what you have learned, you have to, this is point number 4, you have to continue growth. Growth has to continue. Growth has to continue. The master is not the one who has accomplished everything. The master is the one through whom the answer can be found. The master knows how to be quiet and ask, how to figure it out. They don't know everything. They're still learning. They're still growing. There's a story in Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East, and when I read it, I was quite shocked. I was young. And full of enthusiasm. And it was a story of a man who had been very ill, and the masters had healed him. And he had been a devotee for 2 years, healing people, teaching metaphysics. God is awesome. Yay, God. 2 years. And he started to say, I think I need people to help me. I'm tired. I think I don't have it in me anymore. Okay, 2 years. They say it took him 10 years to reproduce the illness he originally had, but he did. He accomplished that. And every time the masters came nearby, he said, heal me, or I shall die. He had reverted back into the victim. Why? Because he stopped growing. The first 2 years, he was probably only giving. Then we have to expand, we have to breathe, we have to learn new and give more, and we have to receive, and we have to give more. That's growth. Growth isn't depleting your soul through giving. Growth is enlightening, breathing in, exhaling, giving. Breathe in more, exhale, learn more, give more. We have to continue growing in what we are owning as ours. And yours could be anything. I don't know what your talent and abilities are, your gifts to the world, anything. But this breathing in and breathing out, if we don't, we'll be like this good-natured man. 2 years in, you get tired, don't you? When you stop replenishing your own bucket, you get tired. And then you want everybody to come and help you. I know this one. Help me. Because you forget to breathe in. Okay, that was the easy one, right? Okay. Number 5. There's only 7. This is from Spirit, y'all. Number 5. Jesus said, everything I do, you can do and greater. How are we going to get there if we are not becoming greater with what we've got? How are we going to get there if we're not becoming greater with what we've got? Everything we do should be a joy. Jesus said to the guys that were toiling, he said, why are you so sad? Oh, because we believe that you work and then you die. And once we die, God will love us and we'll be happy. Jesus said, that's not the truth. He said, cease to look for heaven in the sky and turn your vision to your heart. And if you will look within your heart for God, you will touch a joy that will open up so strongly, even your work will be a pleasure. Even your work, we have to include God in what we're doing right here, right now. So I can tell you, again, my little stories are mine. When I started out, I worked for a belt company, hand-tooled and dyed leather, back in the day. And they were financially struggling, and I would pray for them. I would call forth the angels to come, bless the money, bless the situation. I counted on God to get us through. And it did for many years until the consciousness of the leaders said, let's not. Moved on to another company, aviation company, worked for them for a long time, prayed all the time. Their little thing was, let's just see how Cindy's angels are going to get us through this one. Because they would get themselves in little gnarled moments. But they knew that I was praying. They knew that I was calling forth the light. And one of the sweet little miracles, they had overdrawn the bank account I was responsible for. I was responsible for all the accounts. They overdrew one. This is back in the day. Overdrew it. I had things that were going to bounce. I was short in the float, $10,000, because they overdrew it. They gave somebody money and they weren't supposed to. The bank made a $10,000 error and posted $10,000 into that bank account for the time it needed for me to get a deposit from another source in there. Now, if that isn't a miracle, and I said, talk about my angels, people. Don't do that again, by the way. Don't be testing my angels that bad. Miracles after miracles, because I was including God in where I was in the moment. God was in me in the moment. God was with me in the moment. God was helping me in the moment. And I did go on to work with another company that was an global engineering company. And I had to call people for money, and I was their AR manager, their credit manager. But I would call every client, and you picked up the phone. I would hold my hand on the phone, and I would have their file, and I would pray every time. God, bless this conversation. Let it be win-win. Let us find whatever we need to find for resolution. And then I would call. I would be delightful. They would be delightful. My AR was 98% collected all the time. Beat that record. And that wasn't me. That was God. 98% collected AR when it's due? No. That's God. Now, I'm talking accounting, I'm talking money, I'm talking God. What can God go into your world? What things do you do? Everything I do, you can do and greater, but if you're not going to include me with the nickel and diming, dotting, crossing T's that you're doing now, how can I take you to the greater? You think God only works through healing hands-on. You think God only works through praying when you're in crisis. The presence of God is with you every single moment, every single day. So we have many, many stories from members of our church where their bosses get used to them raking the computer. Do your thing, please. Go do your thing. It's broken. They get used to them coming in and saving the day because they're allowing that consciousness to move through them. Okay? So that was number 5. Everything I do, you shall do, and greater. We have to include God in the details of where we are today. All right, number 6. When you assess your training as ownership, when you can finally say, I am this, you're ready to take another step. This is what I am. I'm a part-time. No, I am, whatever that is. I might only do it part-time, but I am that. Anybody been a part-time mom? It doesn't exist. You're a 24/7 full-time mom for the rest of your life. Never changes. Doesn't exist. Begin to assess what you own and own it. And that's a real simple one, isn't it? And that allows you to become the version of the talents and abilities that you want to be. The version that you want to be of the talents and abilities. And that may seem vague. My version, I have no example for you because my version of what I want to be is like fabulous. And I have degrees of fabulousness. I will own that. But the fabulous is amazing. Can't even paint the picture for you. But it's there. But I'm often reminded, and I remind my students, of when I was a little kid, I don't know what grade, little, and that alphabet. I looked at that picture of an umbrella, and I said, why do we need U's anyway? I don't need an umbrella. I am so sick of these numbers, these letters, 26 letters, 26 of them. I mean, it's hard to get to the end. Why do we even need them? I was so over it, so over it. Yet it becomes the basis of what I do, right? When we are becoming the vision of our talent, we need to not edit the U, V, W, X, Y. We need to not edit those things that are the burden to us. There are parts of our training that's a burden to us. You realize that. I want to do this and not that. Have you ever, no, I'm going to tell you guys this because you probably haven't. If you're a Reiki master, part of your training is to teach the symbols, and the student has to memorize the symbols and give them back to you. Some of the students, believe it or not, have come back to me because we teach everybody, not just in Quest Church. We teach hundreds of people. I don't like that symbol. I'm not going to use that one. Oh, yes, you are. You're learning it. You don't know what you use it for yet. Oh, yeah, you're going to use that symbol, so suck it up. Learn the symbol, you know? It's too hard. It's not too hard. If you want to do it, if you want to go forward, if you want to do this, you learn the symbol. We all have those moments in our training where there's parts of us that we have rejected, parts of our training we have rejected. Come back and embrace those. If you come back and embrace that and say, well, okay, I'm good with it now, that allows the visibility of the vision to be broader. Because maybe you need the U in it. Maybe you need the Reiki symbol in it. Broader. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because we like what we like. We like on our plate what we're going to eat. We don't necessarily like the new stuff or the stuff that's not necessarily my favorite. We make our children eat everything and we don't. You know that. We eat what we want. Exploring our basis to begin to include what we might have packed away. Make sense? All right, I'm going to recap for you. I know your brains are fabulous. Whatever you've learned to do, keep doing it. Whatever you've learned to do, keep doing it. Keep doing it. If you're still in school, stay in school. But you're going to be that. You're going to be what you're in school for. And remember, what school are we in? It's the school of life. It's planet Earth. When I was a kid, they say I went to the school of hard knocks. We're all in that school. We're all in that school. Because the universe will wake us up if need be. All right. Keep doing your practice. Allow the universe to take you to opportunities that don't make sense to you. Opportunities that are new. And then you find new ways to express where you are. Find ways to take your talent and bring it forward where you are. Okay? Growth has to continue. We need to breathe in and we need to breathe out. We need to take higher in, express it out. We need this. 5, to become greater, we have to include God in the details of where we are. 6, own it. I own it. I'm not a minister in training. I mean, if you could look at it, maybe I am. 30-something years, 35 years in, maybe I'm still a minister in training. Great. But for me, I'm a minister. And I'm still training. Do you see? But I am what I am. And then allow the vision to come to you of the greater. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling ready to expand? All right, take a breath. Let's anchor this. Father, Mother God, I ask that your light and your love engulf everyone here. And I ask that this integration that we now do be guided by your hand for each one. In Jesus Christ, I thank you and I ask that you stand by each one in consciousness. So I would invite you now to see a beautiful column of light come over you. And for today, I want you to notice the color. Notice if it's vibrating. Just notice if it's still. And you know that God's love is filling you, and you know Jesus Christ is with you. But for this moment, I want you just to feel your own heart. And now feel your mind. What are the thoughts you have about you? Are you waiting for a door to open? Father, Mother God, please open the door. Are you waiting for the go within your own spirit? Father, Mother God, I want to hear the go. Are you waiting to finally love yourself? Feel the beautiful light of the perfectness of your nature beginning to vibrate. I love me. All that I am, all that I came to give. I love me. And as you feel that thought, become aware of the mind beginning to shift, the heart beginning to shift, and the vibration of both mind and heart come into harmony. I love me. Feel that peace. And just ask to see your next step. Something to receive, something to share, whatever your next step is. You may just feel an energy. You may actually get a vision or words. I am ready. Father, Mother God, we ask that you bless each one in this moment in their journey as we own our fabulous natures. We are your children, God. And we thank you. Feel your gratitude to God. Feel the gratitude to the universal support. Feel your gratitude to Jesus Christ by your side. And allow your focus to come back to your body on the chair, to your feet on the floor. My life is amazing. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Well, you know, if you did not get a next step, you will find one in front of you as you walk. The universe always answers. And that next step may be something so small, but embrace it. It's always perfect for you. Okay, we're in the school, and we're owning what we learned. Say, yay, God.